Welcome everyone to 6873 show. This week we're doing a roundtable subject on friends in VR, how they relate to friends in virtual worlds versus real life, and also emerging social structures and communities in VR and in gaming in general. So stick with us. I think we're gonna have a really good episode this week. Anyway, my name is Captain Ren. The other hosts of the show are.
I'm Rossi, and we have.
I am Angel, and this beautiful woman sitting next to me.
It's Tucky, and today we have a guest host who prefers to be introduced as Angel. Angel is actually on our team now as the new editor, which we really appreciate. We need that.
Of course.
Because this would take a lot off Ren's shoulders. So yes, we're doing better now.
Yes.
We're official. We have an editor.
Yes. We pay him with hugs and head pats. Tongue twister. So, friends in VR.
Found someone.
Friends in VR, friends outside of VR.
Well,
Wow.
Well, I was even talking to someone, one of my friends today, and she actually brought up a really good point that, all of all of her really close friends, are now in VR. A lot of her IRL friends, she really doesn't have anymore because we're even discussing a little bit of that. It's people in IRL are expected to kind of wear a mask. They have, so society says you have to be this, you have to act this way, and you have to do this, and vice versa. Society, you have all these strains put on you in society. Where in VR, you're more free to be the person that you actually are, and I think that's really good for because you're actually bonding with the actual person, not the mask they're wearing in the IRL.
Yeah.
So that you actually get to know the person themselves better. That's why I think a lot of relationships and stuff like that that form VR last longer because you're actually seeing the person, not the mask. And it was kind of bad too because she actually lost a friendship, an IRL friendship for kind of a small petty thing. But you have all these little eccentricities of reality that say, oh well, I'm going to do this to you and all this stuff in VR. It's kind of nice too because if you, let's say you have a friendship that does end, and the other party wants to be kind of childish about it. Here we got this amazing thing. It's called a block.
Yes.
Very useful.
If we only had that in real life.
That in real life.
Yeah.
Let's use that sometime.
Yeah, I think as well, like you say, having friends in VR. I mean, I've got really good friends in real life and really good friends in VR. But the joy I find with the VR is I don't have to pretend to be something. Like you say, the social constructs. I haven't got to hide things so that for my own embarrassment or my own worry that they're gonna take the piss and make me feel shit and all that lot. So it's I like this because I can be more creative, more expressive, and things like that. Where real life you can't, and people are more accepting in here as well because they're all here to do some kind of thing. The expression and things like that. It's not a case of okay, you do get your people come in and take the piss, toxic people and all that lot, but in general, I would have said the majority of people that come into virtual reality friendships and things like that, they're all like-minded people that are here to be weird.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, not even really weird, but just being able to decompress and let basically that inner self out a little bit. Yeah. Because I know there's in VR there's lots of different communities here, lots of different backgrounds, ethnicities, religions, interest groups, everything. And usually if you'd actually take all that, because you have to figure that VR in general right now is still kind of emerging technology, and we're getting to that point where it's almost a paradigm where it's going to be everywhere. But it's still kind of a niche
Mm.
market. It's still small, and when you
Mm.
take that many different groups and put them into a small area, it would never work in real life. But somehow here it does.
Mm.
Everyone here seems to be a little bit more accepting and not so back to the wall. Well, you're not this, so you got to die. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's like the
Yeah,
kids that come onto VRchat that pick on the furries like we are,
Mm-hmm.
and they say that we
Mm.
should die and we should
Mm-hmm.
go kill ourselves, kind of thing. No, it's just that those kind of people, those kind of kids, are trying to make it for their own usage.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at everybody that does come into VRchat, like new people, for instance. In our last video, I had a young man who was literally the first day he's ever been on VRchat, joined me in Toki. I'm like, okay, cool, new person to help.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the sweetest guy. And
Oh, so
another
sweet.
person joined. Another person joined, and he was toxic. I'm like, dude, you need to relax, take a step back, and try to breathe in the situation. Like, you're in a different realm now. You went from your real life world where you have to wear a mask. You can take that off and be yourself in here. You don't have to be that bully.
Don't be a dickhead.
Mm.
One thing I've
Well, I
noticed for a
have
lot of people. Oh, go ahead. Mhm.
I have noticed like some of my friends, real life friends,
Mhm.
outside of VR don't have like they don't have the knowledge behind it. They're basically thinking that I'm sitting in playing a game like Mario Kart or something like that. They have nothing to compare it with. So
Yeah.
they're not so understanding when it comes to this. They don't realize that I have a whole different set of friends in here that I
Yeah.
Mhm.
basically see every day
Mhm.
compared to them because of course you're always busy, you have your work and everything like that, you have your real life you have to unfortunately take care of, but they do not understand what I'm doing in here. I mean, I
Mhm.
have my best friend, female friend, she understands it because she's like me, she's a nerd, she's a gamer, she knows what it's about. But the other people, like even my mother is like, "You always in there. Why you always in there? It can't be that fun." Well, mom, it is. Okay, it
That's the
is.
same issue I have sometimes. Like,
Mm.
I
Mhm.
know my father's probably listening in on me, but I'm on here more than I socialize with my own family.
Mhm.
The biggest reason why is because I personally feel more kind of accepted in here being a part of this world. And
Yes.
they think I'm just in here fucking around and messing up and goofing with things.
Mhm.
But really,
Mm.
this type of world has made me a better person with the people I hang out with.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, I might be quiet in real life, and a lot of my friends I had back in high school and middle school, they really don't talk to me anymore. A lot of them just forgot who I was. Just yesterday, while I was out with family, a couple of my friends from high school back in the day, and I mean that with emphasis, back in the day,
Mm.
that's all you think I am. But
Old farts.
but they looked at me and was like, "Oh hell, I
Those
remember
are
you.
me.
I remember you. You were that goofy kid who built a speaker into a backpack for an outdoor ed class that had nothing to do with it." Unfortunately, they failed to realize that took off a year later. Other companies started
Mhm.
picking up on it. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I remember you. You were kind of an asshole to me.
Hmm. Like
They just went
I
quiet.
feel
They just
yeah.
ignored me and walked away. Like, there's a difference between being on here than being in the real world. Sometimes some people will
Yes.
come to this world to express themselves more. while we have the old friends that we used to have just instantly block us out and think that we're a memory or if a thought kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But in the real world, I still have friends and she knows them too. But a lot of them just ended up forgetting about me.
Well, I think too, like what you're saying too, especially in the atmosphere where you're going to school, you're in a compressed area, so you kind of have that thing. People have to be friends with each other, made you just go along to get along. Where here, when someone actually be a friend, it's because they actually want to be with that person. It's not you're not in the system that says you have to be good little boy with everyone else to get through the system. Here, like I say, you're not wearing that mask or anything like that. And if you want to be with someone, be actually their friend, it's because they actually want to be friends with you.
Mm-hmm. I also think it's the whole not
Yeah.
judgmental thing about your
Mm-hmm.
personality, because that's the first thing you kind of meet in here. It's not the face or the body type or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like you you don't ask the person like, so with what ethnicity are you? You don't do
Mm-hmm.
that. You're literally like,
Mm-hmm.
oh
No.
hey, are you the
No.
weird one or the quiet one or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and you can easily spot the chemistry
Mm-hmm.
because of the personality traits and people are being themselves. In the real world, I don't speak very much. In here, I speak like waterfall. But that's because I feel accepted too. Like, I saw that. So mean. Um, but I have always been that socially awkward being, always following other people and being like, I just had to follow somebody because I
Yeah.
didn't have anywhere to belong. In here, I'm suddenly feeling like I'm the strong one. People are coming to us to me
Mm-hmm.
for like advice and such, and I have experienced being the helper, yes, but never like this. Like I have a lot of people coming up to me. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I do half the time, but apparently it works. So, but I don't feel so
Because
insecure
she
Mm-hmm.
compared to
well,
in the
she
real
went
life.
from the quiet person that I whenever I first met her, she was very self-centered. She didn't talk to people much, but after a
Toki was
while, it's just a
quiet.
time of being. Yes, you were like that when we
Shut
first
up.
met. You
I
were
know.
like that when we first met.
I was not
But
self-centered.
been
I was just quiet. Which is different.
anyways, she was very quiet and I followed her like a lost puppy.
Yes.
Took that
You
mental step back and went back to like, oh, I got people following me now.
Mhm.
6.5 months later,
And I haven't shut up since.
and I still love her. No,
Yeah.
no matter how
But
many
the
times my gray hairs kick in, but I still love her to death.
beesh. I love you too.
You want to see grey
But
hairs?
White.
So I've been on VRchat for I'm quite fairly new still, around four-ish months. And back before then, high school, I was like the quiet kid, not sociable, nothing. Until my friend introduced me to VRchat. I looked it up. I didn't have the quest right now. Thank God the quest is now here. I can play it. So ever since I got it, I'm noticing like I'm more social. And even right now, it's cracking into the real life world too. I'm like talking to people that I usually would never talk to. I don't know. I think it's actually
mm,
more like helpful to everybody.
it is. There are a lot of benefits about being in here because you can put down that filter, like you said, that
Mm-hmm.
mask. You can actually be yourself, and I have come to that conclusion. Either people like you or they don't. And I actually don't want to spend my time on people that I have to please every
Exactly.
minute and
Mm.
every second. If they don't like me, so be it. That's just how it is. I know you like me. Should have. but the freedom it has in here,
Mm-hmm.
where I can basically
Mm.
talk like I would among my tight friends.
Mm-hmm.
I might swear, yes, I might have a temper. I think I mention that every kind of episode we do. But in here,
Can we
I
get
can be who I want to
Toki
be.
anger count?
That would be bigger than my
Then
spelling
I'll
can
make
count.
that work.
then then can we get a Ren count for every time he calls me turkey or
Yes.
talkie or Tolkien or whatever?
Yeah, you could do a
Alright, I'll
versus,
He
make it
tends
work.
to
couldn't
do
you?
that a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a
Versus.
competition now.
Toki
Finish
versus
him.
Ren.
Competition now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love our friends. Oh, shush.
This right here is what makes certain communities open and very well known.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like we can be taking a serious moment, which I'm sorry I had to cut in between that, honey.
Mhm.
But that's how we get along.
Mhm.
Everybody finds a little thing they can poke at.
Mhm.
It makes everything a little better.
And it's-
Everybody gets a good laugh.
Mm.
It's not
Everybody
taken seriously.
gets-
It's taken more as a
Yeah.
joke that it was meant to be.
yeah.
It's
But
like,
we can
how
also-
Unlike
dare
the
you?
snowflakes out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I'm offended.
But I mean, we can also get to the seriousness of it. Like, take the
Mhm.
heavy talk, the big issues, and the problems, and kind of like get a different viewing on them.
Hmm.
Exactly because we are in this mindset to begin with.
Mhm. Well, one thing too I've noticed, especially with the conversation here, that I've noticed IRL versus VR is number one. I hate to say it, but in the real world, people are very, very judgmental of how you look. Well, you're not wearing the
Yes.
same type of clothes or I am, or you're this or you're that or whatever. You might be a little bit more. You're plumper than I am. So we shun you. Here,
We're fluffy.
especially because there is we almost celebrate our diversity because you look at everyone's avatar is different, and I mean not even different species. It's hard to be racist when you're talking to a 6'2" anthropomorphic wolf. You don't have
Mhm.
that boundary of being judged simply by how you look. And
Mhm.
another thing too is I've really noticed is like for me, okay, in real life too, I'm very, very quiet. I'm very much antisocial introvert, stuff like that. People come by and be like, back away, you know. But I've noticed for a lot of people who have literally social anxieties, lots of these different things are coming into VR, and they're almost blossoming because they can take off the mask. They have this relaxed atmosphere. People are more accepting, and I've noticed a lot of people who in the real life are just you know hardcore introverts. Just serious social problems, and within about a month, you would meet them in real life and not even recognize them as the same person.
Mhm.
I've noticed people with mental disorders have actually been able
Mhm.
to work through a lot of their processes being in these metaverses and actually overcoming so many of their problems that I'm sorry they would have never had that option in real life, but here they're actually able to work through this in a positive environment.
Also, I have noticed that people are more polite. Some people are more polite in here.
Hmm.
Like when you said, like the example here, we're having a round table talk.
Hmm.
If I interrupt somebody, I immediately say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Continue." It's not a shouting match like it
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
easily become because one has apparently opinion that's more valuable than the other. Here we face each other and we actually say, okay, you have that opinion, that's your opinion, but we accept that. It's not like, no, you're wrong and he's right and blah blah blah.
We're not Ellen, we're not Oprah, and we're not those other fancy shows. Basically,
We're
what we're
better.
saying.
And we're not Good Morning Britain.
We're not CNN.
Oh, good morning, Denmark.
Especially not
Good
Good Morning
morning,
Britain with
VRchat.
Piers, because he quit.
Yeah, good morning, VRchat.
Good
Is it
morning.
like
Because
every
there's
country
times
has their own good morning show?
I don't think it's
How
morning
many
for
cra-
anybody in here.
Good morning, VRchat. On today's crashes, we have this.
Yeah. And on today's lags, we have this.
And the most hated world of the week is the black cat.
The most
I'm
hated, yet
sorry
the
to the
most
creator
popular.
of the black cat. I know we're like
Same.
picking at you like all the time, but fix the graphics.
Better yet, just block the crashers
Yes.
or something. Because that's where they tend to go.
Well,
Because
another
it is
thing
actually
too.
a
I
good
mean,
world.
it is a good role. It's a good place to go
Yeah.
meet up with people. You know, because it is
Yeah.
the most popular, one of the most popular worlds for people to go and actually meet other people. Oh, Angel.
Yeah, actually, I think Black Ops is actually the first world I joined since I joined VRchat. That's where I met up with
Oh,
you,
I'm so
Ren,
sorry.
I believe.
Yep.
Shut up.
Literally, the first world I joined, I met Ren. Yeah, Ren's the first person I actually added, I believe. With that.
Yeah. One of the very few times I actually went to the Black Cat, you know, just to see what was going on. My world of choice for socializing was literally an old 70s strip joint.
Can't question the man.
Why doesn't it surprise to me? Why is it not a surprise to me? I mean, what?
Hey, don't worry, my first world was Murder 4.
True.
Murder.
Time it was
I think that
Murder
was my
2.
second world.
Sorry.
Yeah.
At the
was
time
in a
period,
box.
it
An
was Murder
imposter.
2.
And the box in the box. You look at
Yeah, in a
wish will
different
happen,
box.
like hopefully in the near future. Sorry. That have you all watched Ready Player One?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm hoping
have.
hopefully in the near future it will come to reality. Hoping.
Yes.
Or distant future,
Without
maybe.
one certain system, if you lose everything in the
Yeah.
game, you lose everything in real life.
Yeah.
I don't lose everything. I want to keep this one.
That
Mhm.
that is a different subject for a different show. We're gonna cover
Yes.
that.
Yep, we actually
Alright.
have that in the works. Well, one
will
thing
say
too
more
is,
work for me.
go ahead.
No. You started.
Oh, I just gonna say, you know, with the social structure, I've noticed, you know, not only just friendships and stuff like that, but whole communities and whole new social structures that are almost unique to VR are emerging. You know, things that would never normally happen in real life. Like people are actually forming their own way of socially interacting. They're all forming their own social groups. You know, and they're actually forming living communities, not just like VR families like that, but actual living communities inside of VR, which is kind of interesting, I think.
Families,
Mhm.
stuff like that too.
Mhm. Well, it's
There are the
like
toxic
okay,
communities as well.
yes, that's one thing. It was even like just toxic people, like you were saying about some people who are new to VR and stuff like that. You know, for the most part, most of the people here in VR are great people, stuff like that. I do notice that a lot of the younger people who are actually too young to technically be in VR are kind of the biggest problem, because even a lot of the adults I've seen in VR that are toxic, usually if you just get them in a corner and say, "Hey, dude, come on," then they start opening up. You get a conversation going. All of a sudden, you're their best friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, y- for the most part, even the toxic adults, for the most part, as long as you just take them to the corner and say, "Hey, dude, what are you doing?"
Like even when we
But
talk
for
about age,
Mhm.
sorry, but when
No,
we
go
talk
ahead.
about age, you remember that little girl who always joined me in my world wherever I
Yes.
went? Yes, she's 6 years old.
6.
Oh dear.
Chat,
Wow.
parents, check it out before you send your kids on this. That's
Mm.
the thing I
Yes.
don't agree with. And it's also gonna if they meet the wrong people, it's
Oh,
gonna make
definitely. Yeah.
Dangerous.
them yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you never know. We have had our share of predators, toxic people, bullies, stuff like that in
Mhm.
here.
Mm.
So to actually send a 6-year-old into VRchat who knows nothing about what's going on in here, I mean,
Mhm.
that's a no-go for me.
Well, to
I
me that
don't
just sounds
understand.
wrong in this case, in the case of internet's, safety for protecting your kids anyway.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Well, I think
exactly.
you maybe hit it on the head a little while ago. Is so many people think that the VR headset and these virtual worlds are just a game, like Mario Kart or something like that. They're not understanding that
Mm-hmm.
this is a living metaverse, so these parents are buying these headsets, thinking they're just a Mario Kart game, and they're
Tools.
not really understanding.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
Even though it
okay.
says their age range.
Okay, it's like
Yeah.
PlayStation and Xbox.
Hmm.
Mm.
It's another platform for people to communicate. I used to be
Hmm.
part of the 360 community a long time ago. And a lot of the communities you meet through there, I actually still have one person on my Steam account I met through Xbox.
Mhm.
And he's the chillest frickin' dude in the world. He's around Rossi's age, but
Old fart.
won't fart. But
But yeah.
it's just the condescendence of a person that I've known for such a long time and
Mhm.
still be active, and we still chat every once in a while
Mhm.
because it's the same thing. I was like, whoa, God. I was young.
Mm.
Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
And
But the
I was
thing
still
is
a
in
newbie to
oh sorry.
Xbox. Oh,
No,
I'm sorry,
sorry,
honey.
continue. No, continue.
Whenever I was still new to the Xbox platform, I was basically the noob in Call of Duty. He
Mm.
spent his time helping me get through it. And the best thing is that a lot of people from different eras have more communication skills than the kids that come into VRchat
Mhm.
and certain platforms. Like if PlayStation 5, God bless that system, even though it barely works. But if you get your little Jimmy here, little 3-year-old Jimmy, a PlayStation 5, and he starts calling people out by certain names I'm not gonna say while it's on recording, and
I'll blur it out,
you start
maybe.
seeing like expenditures that are going like $100, $150 for like Fortnite, Roblox, stuff like that. And you're wondering, why did you let your little Jimmy here start purchasing things off your credit card, yet he has no income?
Mm.
Let that fly by, then you give the kid a quest, and they still have that toxicity inside of their head that they are more dominant than people who are on here.
Mm.
Mhm.
But there's one thing I gotta say to everybody that gives their kid a quest or a quest 1, quest 2, etc. Don't be a Karen. Please teach your kids before you get on there,
I think
Jeez.
and don't
yeah, for
expect
like
us to take care of your kid whenever you're not there. Because having
exactly.
these little kids running around expecting us to tend to them if they were I need to calm down on the swearing. Take care of
We're
their
talking
kids
about
as if they were
smaller kids.
Yes, small
I've
kids.
got my
We're
own kid
talking
to
from
care
the
of
age range of
in real life.
3 to at least 10.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
you see a lot in the communities. There's a lot of older people like Ren, Razi, me, Toki, and we are just sitting here as like, okay, either A, we're gonna slap this kid back to next week, or are we just gonna like ignore them and block them?
Hopefully the
Razi,
latter.
put away your tool. We don't need to know what you do with that 10mm socket.
Why is
But
there still a little bit of red on that? You need to wipe off a little bit better.
Yeah, you
Sorry,
do.
yeah, I forgot.
to,
But the
to
main
go back
point
to
I'm trying to get here, the main point I'm trying to get here is make sure you monitor your kids.
Well, like
Because
Ross's
we don't
example.
want to have
Mhm.
Electric Boogaloo Part 2 in the middle of VR chat while we're in a stream or we're recording, just having them come in and screaming in a toothbrush avatar.
But I don't even think that's the biggest issue. The biggest issue is also they don't know
They
who's
don't know,
toxic or not. Because
or even
in
how
here
to.
we 90% of the people who are in here who are adults or younger than that, I would say 13 and up, because I met a 13-year-old boy, and he
Mhm.
was the sweetest, most mature I've ever met out of a lot of young people that age. But they don't know who to go to when everything comes falling down. They don't know who to like. They don't know how to contact VRchat. They can't explain to their parents, listen, this guy bullied me, or this dude did that and that and that. In real life, you can actually pinpoint saying, okay, it was that man who did something bad. But in here, everybody has an alias. And I will say, and I know commercials shows it too, the internet are just a free buffet for predators and scammers. And
Yes.
unfortunately, VRchat is no exception. So if a 6-year-old joins in here and meet exactly the wrong person, we all know what's gonna happen.
Well, the
I
thing is, too,
mean,
is you have a lot of these children who, I'm sorry, at that age, don't have the social experience to interact with lots of different people. I mean, that's one thing with like Rossi. Okay, Rossi is a parent, but he takes an active role in his child
yes.
being in electronic environment, stuff like that. You know, it's not just like here's a headset, so have fun. You know, until you reach an age and until you've actually accumulated certain skills, social skills and self-protection skills, like you could say, you know, parents should be there with their kids, guiding them through this. I mean, it could be a very positive experience, with parents with their kids going into these worlds, but the parents need to be parents while there.
Yeah. I will say, Rossi and I had actually a talk about that, because you were talking about your daughter wanted to do the Twitch streaming stuff like that. Wasn't
Oh
that
yes,
what we were
yes.
talking about?
We were
Yeah.
yeah. She asked me if she could have Twitch, because she wanted to watch. Although she can watch online without having an account and things like that.
Mm.
She wanted a Twitch account so that she could basically she wanted to write comments and she wanted to be able to actually like the video and help them. Where you put the likes against the videos and help them build their base. And it was me and my wife. We sort of looked at each other because I don't know Twitch at all. I've heard of it, never seen it, never used it, never really sort of looked at it. I hear people talk about it all the time.
I just
And
happen
me
every once
and
in
the
a while.
wife sat down and Twitch. Me and the wife sat down
Oh my
and
God,
sort of
it
started
started.
googling about it just to investigate to see what it's about. And there's a website that you can go to, particularly for the UK, because and it's the NSPCC, National Society of Protection of Cruelty to Children, and they've actually got a page on their website which shows the big social media platform names and things like that, and it gives you an indication of what age range of what they state and what the age range of what it really should be, sort of thing. And it was
Mm.
we saw the Twitch one, and it was quite scary, the age range that they were actually recommending for for someone to join compared to what the age range actually is. And when you read through the description, I can completely understand why they're saying that, because again, with the toxic community side of things, it was
Yeah.
and I know it myself when I put comments on or I've done my own YouTube videos and things like that, and comments get put on there, and then you try and just sort of you respond to the comment mistakenly because you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to sort of politely try and correct them, and people just read it wrong or whatever,
Mm.
and then it just becomes a massive argument, and then you end up getting into a slating match, and it was just, I said to her,
It
I
blows
said,
up.
sorry, no.
Yeah.
And she was fine with it. It's brilliant. I said, I've got no problem with you watching the stuff on there, but it's the bit that was worrying me was the then social bit on top of that, because it was
Mm.
just it was a bit too, as a parent looking at the information, a bit, when you're old enough, and you're in that actual adult age where you can make your own decisions, you do what you want. But for the moment, I'm saying for protection, no.
We should have more
Well, I
parents
think
like
that's one thing
Yeah.
about the toxic communities and stuff too. Like, okay, alt space for the most part, they've really cleaned up a lot of their worlds.
Mhm.
Because there for a long time they're really and it had nothing to do with the actual servers. This was the people themselves. Saying, enough of this. And so don't be, if you actually come up with someone who is being a toxic person and continuing to be toxic, don't be afraid to report them, block them, whatever.
Yes.
Get them out of the
Exactly.
community. And alt space has very much cleaned up a lot of their social structure, stuff like that, and got a lot of trolls
Mhm.
out, and a lot of the toxic people out, simply because the people took a very active role in cleaning their the world out. So I mean,
Mm.
we have, every world's going to have that. Don't be afraid to use it.
Yeah.
And because I mean, so there's certain people that are just toxic, and no matter how you try to
Mm.
befriend them, bring them in, whatever, they're just
Yeah.
toxic. And of course, the one
Just
thing that
trying
you
to
just won't see,
change them.
yeah, exactly. One thing you won't see in all spaces, you won't see, for the most part, you're not going to see any kids under a certain age, because they said they
Yeah,
find
I
out,
noticed
well, you're
that.
under this age, that's under policy, they get reported and they get banned.
Yeah.
It seems kind of
You still need
mean,
to add me on all
but
space.
yes, we'll do.
But
Yeah,
I
we
will
need to
say also
arrange
they've
to
when
do
you
a
say
session on
the
that. Yeah.
whole
Mhm.
the
Go
whole
ahead.
um reporting people, I believe it is anonymous, so they don't.
Mhm.
They actually they at one point they know they are reported. They will get a message of
Mhm.
it, but not of who did it or how or when. So
Mhm.
it's safe to do so. And also, good advice could be the Oculus can actually record video. So if you are in
Mhm.
that kind of situation, you feel threatened or anything else like that, just without saying, go into your Oculus menu, turn on the video, and film it.
Recording it. Mhm.
It might be a
Evidence.
crappy video, yeah, but then you have evidence. It doesn't matter how bad or good the video quality is, still counts as
That'll help.
evidence.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the thing is too, is it might, let's say somebody, he is being toxic or whatever. It might be just that little slap to say, oh, when they get the notifications, you have been reported. It's like, oh wait, uh, I probably shouldn't do that if I want to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
There is a very special function with with VRchat. Whenever you are the owner of the world, if you click their name, you have 3 options on the bottom half of your screen. It has warn, kick, and report.
Mm-hmm.
I just giggle.
And
Easier.
I always give people 3 warnings. If they go past the 3rd warning, they get kicked. If they come back, they will be reported.
kick them. So much easier. You don't have to go through the whole, like, listen here, if you behave, you can stay. But when you see them repeatedly going, screaming, or being people's faces and being that annoying brat you just really want to kick out, I kick them.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
that's
That way I'm
there's
harsh.
there's a difference between everybody. I'm a person that's about giving chances. Now, if they go past the second warning, they get kicked. Like if they come in and start screaming at people, then that's an instant kick.
Yes.
Yeah, I
If they
think
I mean, I
the
get
first
chances
warning,
too, but
yeah, I
certain
think
people are
like for
just
me, I'm
gonna get kicked.
exactly.
Sorry.
For like you're saying, I believe in giving like I'll probably take it aside and say, hey, dude, this, you can stay, but you need to, cool it down a little bit. And if you don't,
Yeah.
we will kick you out of here. You know.
Yeah.
And I believe in
Mm.
making contact and say, hey, dude, this is it. This is your warning. And, because I mean, some people come in, they just might have a bad day, whatever reason, what's on their mind at the time. And some people just need to vent.
Mm.
Great. But there are a few things that will come in, like if someone comes in and they are just being very toxic, calling people, very bad names, stuff like that. It's like I won't even give them more. It's like, dude, you gone now. Especially if they start
Yeah.
just attacking my friends or whatever. But for the most part, I will definitely give them that warning, and just bring him like do with everything. Bring him to a private place in a corner, whatever. Say, you know, welcome to be here, but cool it
Yeah.
down a little bit. Be one of us. Otherwise you will be invited to leave forcefully.
Well, I will say once
Or
you
you get
join the
spanned.
world
Banner.
and once you join the world and there is this 11-year-old boy with his wiener in your face, it just makes them
Oh,
so much easier to
Instant
kick.
kick. Instant kick. Yeah.
This.
yeah, it's instant.
Yeah.
now
I don't
Bye-bye.
with
care what
avatars
kind of
like
not
that,
safe.
we have
Yeah.
touched that subject in an earlier video.
Yeah.
And if anybody sees that, instantly block them. Do not give them a second chance. Just instantly block them because you know they'll do it again.
If you're among friends, the friends are okay with this, fine. But private worlds, friends only, I would suggest that. Because you don't know who might join and are literally like, oh, I can't see that. Oh no, I don't like that. Be polite, change to something
Karens.
else.
Well, there's a time and there's a place for everything.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, when you joke around, it's fine as long as everybody's on the same page, and they're giving their okay as a. I
Yeah.
mean, I just switch into Danish word. Whoa, I forgot for a second. Uh, yeah, as long as they consent that it's okay that you run around in a half-naked avatar. Well, okay then. But
Rozzy.
still, if somebody.
What?
Listen, he ain't even the
With your
bad
little bitty
one.
speedo top.
He ain't
No.
even the
Hey,
bad
the
one.
Yuli
I've
One
one-
seen
mankini out
worse.
of this. Oof.
Well, I think of everyone here, I'm the only one that's properly shot.
The dog avatar. Shirtless all the time.
That's false.
Yeah, let's
Basically,
just
one
say
thing
I'm
about-
sorry. Oh
no
yeah,
worries.
continue. No.
It's off topic, but the only thing that's I seem bad about the quest is the there's limitations. Like just I know you can go anywhere with it, but let's be honest, you're not leaving your room or anything. But
Oh, I
there's a
am.
war here. Can't do anything.
Hold
I
on,
might be
let me
s- I
let me
might
see
be
if I
s-
can do this right. That's my wall. Very small space.
It is funny when people from the real world see you come in to VR and you're
I'm
sitting
in
there
the
just
kitchen.
yammering on at a wall.
But that is the sad thing. I have to do it in the kitchen because it's the biggest space. So I'm sat in my kitchen doing my VR.
Hey, if it works.
I'm
Hey,
just
I'm
lazy.
cooking
I'm
dinner.
sitting in my
Get
bed.
out.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my bed, but in my head, I'm somewhere else.
I mean, I can
Yes,
move my
it's
chair,
VR.
Put it over
That's-
there.
Yeah.
That's the one beautiful. That's another beautiful thing about VR. You can be in a small space with people that have like claustrophobia or something like that.
Mhm.
They put these suckers on. They're in an open world. They don't have to
Mhm.
stress.
It's
There
cheaper than
are
therapy.
worlds. There are worlds. We tried that with one of our VR kids. It was a, it was an auto camper, and it was tight. It was tight. The movement was limited. That was not a good experience. But other than that, yeah, open.
But there is one world that will bring back memories to Razi, Ren, and Toki to me. A Windows, what was it, XP world?
Yes,
Oh,
the Windows
God.
XP
Oh,
world.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna have to show
It
me
is
that.
a open platform. It is a completely open platform. I do suggest people go to it if they're in like a big avatar or just want to get space out or just want to have open conversations like spread way out from each other.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll
And
have
of
to show me
course,
that
my
world.
worlds. I actually do create a few worlds, and I have been known to get stupid big on my worlds. Like you could get in the biggest avatar and still not be able to see the edge of the worlds anywhere. I've literally created
Yes.
an island that's 5 miles across by 5 miles across, and there's 3 of them.
Hey, Ren.
I swear to
you
God,
just
all the
challenge somebody.
flying.
You probably challenge somebody by saying that.
Me. Well, he's making us work out for when we join one of his worlds because you can fly in them.
Oh, the tree.
But listen, you
Mhm.
need
Is
to
that the
have
treehouse one?
good arm muscles.
Yes.
Muscles.
Oh,
yes.
God, yeah.
You really have
was-
to. If you want to be social or be
I
in
was
the
aching for
clubhouse, you
days
need
after
to know
that.
how to fly.
My shoulders were killing me.
Yes.
I know, right? It's like, what's a
Yes.
gym anymore? We don't really need a gym anymore. We just have to be in his
We don't
world.
need a
It was the,
gym.
it was the
Yes.
flying up to the moon. It was just.
Yeah.
And it just took
I gave up
ages to
halfway.
get to
I'm
the
just like,
moon.
nah.
Hey, you
And
burn
then when
your
we got to
calories
the
for the
moon, it's
day.
like I ain't flying back.
Fit.
Respawn.
You just see Rossi falling from the sky in his avatar, and he's just like, I'm just gonna respawn.
But going to something too. So I mean, we get a lot of real solid relationships and stuff here, and then you do see social structures of forming. What are your takes and stuff like that about people forming these new social structures and stuff like that, and also these groups? Because some of them, I've seen some groups that are amazing. They're well run. There's no toxicity in it, and they actually make sure that they actually have people that is their only job is to just make sure that everyone's gelling, there's no toxicity, and they have a system set up. So if something does happen, it actually goes through a process to make sure that this is okay. But then I've seen some small groups that it's almost like a dictatorship in a way. It's like if you do anything, and I've seen people be very, very hurt by, like, actually hurt by these communities. What would be a good point of
Yeah.
to look out for, if you find yourself in one of these communities, and what to look out for?
Loud people, people who swear way too much. Not counting me. I calm it down on the swearing.
Hey, I
Yeah,
have the
I
pass.
see you
I'm a
looking at-
sailor. I can swear like a sailor.
Me too.
But it's
I can
mostly
have no
the
filter.
people that you see starting drama are the ones you need to get away from.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially if they involve you into it. It's
Mhm.
it's the small
Yes.
communities that drag you into their big drama.
Mm.
Like,
If you
I will.
me and her
Mhm.
has not had any drama other than 2 days ago.
Yes.
That
No.
was something that was easily handled, and it was a situation completely done with. But
I was a beach.
it's like
I was.
Anyways.
I own up to that.
Sounds like going
anyways,
up.
honey, you're adorable and I love you, okay?
Hmm. I love you too.
Plus I like it when you're angry. Anyways,
Oh, well.
anyways,
Sorry,
Quit
couldn't
it some
resist.
more of the
more.
people
Quit it some more.
it's more of the people that will start drama. If you see that in a community that they start drama out of nowhere and you just get instantly dragged into it, that's when you cut all ties and go.
Or that person who runs up to you, start yelling at you, runs away again before you actually get to say anything, runs back to you and yell at you again, then runs away. I mean, you can't have a grown ass conversation with people like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You just can't.
I won't mention the name of the person I think you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No.
Well, I think
no
for
names.
Put it-
any
put it- yeah.
community, I
Put it this
think
way,
for any
I never
community,
met this person before, but I've heard a lot about them. And then that was the first time I
So
met
many
them. They
people.
ran in, screamed, made out they were so wellard and all that lot, and then ran away. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what happened?
that's the arsehole.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But I
Well,
also had like an experience just yesterday when, because I and I have VR kids. We have a whole extended VR family. And we were actually talking to one of our VR kids and telling her good night and stuff like that. And we actually had a comment from somebody, "Oh, you guys are so supportive. I wish I had parents like you." And I'm like, "What?" Because that's
what?
normal for me.
Mhm.
Support the people that I care about, and for it was just it was not even, I didn't even think about it. It was just something I did. Like it was an instant reaction. And for me that's become the normal thing to do in here. Like you hug,
Basically, we
you
take VR parenting seriously.
Mhm.
yeah.
Every single one of our
We do.
Skittles texts me every day, even though one uses Snapchat, which is kind of annoying. But it's his way of
Oh, so
communication.
that's why he's texting me.
Probably. But
Hmm.
I like to keep all my stuff on one platform, and having my Skittles, which I do love dearly and close to my heart, especially my new princess.
Well,
But this is my queen. She controls what I do and do not do.
Yes, you're really trying to kick his ass right now. I know that. I love you too, honey.
He's
but-
under the thumb.
Don't worry, people. I'll be sleeping on the VR couch tonight. It's fine.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
There's something in your in your forehead. It's a thumbprint.
yes, I see it
No,
right there. It's
with
a
her-
little indention.
With her, it is a cast steel ironing pan, like cooking pan.
I hit him 5
Dog.
times.
You wonder how my
But
eyes
then
end up
his-
like this.
Yeah. I couldn't settle for 4. I had to try a 5th time. It didn't work. Honey, we have to repeat it. Just to see if I could get your eyes back.
As
Or they
long as
will
I don't end up
disappear
like
to infinity.
Squidward.
Should use the spanner.
Yeah.
Leaves less of a mark.
New weapon, new opportunities.
As long as I don't end up like Squidward from that one episode where just SpongeBob keeps on randomly just slapping his head against the door. It makes me more beautiful. I'm like,
Yeah.
I wish that would happen. I wish. But I look like I was hit by a bus and backed up onto several times. Help me.
Hey, I don't just make babies cry when they walk by. I make adults cry when they walk by.
I'm gonna
Really?
keep my
Why
mouth
do you
shut.
think I wear a helmet?
Really?
Wait, is that another up run
Oh,
or counter?
yeah.
Yeah. 101 so far.
Oof.
He's already on the job.
He's already on the job.
He's sitting there like, Mark, Mark, Mark.
I could see him already sitting at his desk, just having a notepad right there, just going.
I have to make it happen.
Oh dear.
Old-fashioned tally chart.
Hey, as long as we don't start
Swear
sending Morse codes, I can
Or
understand those.
mention my personality next show. That's why.
What?
It's the sole reason for it. I don't want my count to go up. I'm just gonna be well behaved.
Sure. Easy.
I couldn't even take myself serious. No, that's not gonna happen. No.
Yeah.
Like every show that,
Actually,
that
it's-
goes on, the counter will still be up and going higher and higher. Let's see who wins.
Wait, is it every time I mention I have a temper, or is it every time I swear?
Both.
Both.
Oh, honey, I'm already probably up in the 50s in this episode, so it's
No.
okay.
No. No.
These two, you want one too?
No.
Might as well.
The swearing is my thing.
I'm sure the pirates had it first.
I never swore any damn thing in my life. Some bitch. People say I swear. I never swore.
So wait, what is his count for? Every time. Oh yeah, every time
time he
you
says your
call
name
us
wrong.
by a different name. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, any name. Because he called Ian for Ian at one point, and I think he called
This
Rosie
man
for
called me-
Rose.
Rose.
or
I'm just
something
going
like that.
phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4.
Hmm.
Well, remember one thing. Remember one thing. Now you have 2 angels to deal with.
This
Yeah,
is true.
Zion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, can you
Some-
pronounce the last of his?
Try. Let's see.
Yokinari?
Yukinari
Yukinara.
or Yukinari?
You
Yukinari.
got it first. First try. You can already.
Hey, I watch anime.
Just a fair
Hey.
warning, we're a bunch of anime watchers. I don't know about this guy. He's probably just watching mechanic videos all damn day.
No, I watch anime. I like anime.
Hey,
Japanese, to be
we're the
perfectly honest.
nerds.
Nice.
I went to Japan as well. It was great.
Oh shit.
Nice.
I went to South Korea. Do you
That's
want
where
to
I got my
compare?
black belt.
Yes,
I think Japan's
we
better.
know
not
you're
gonna lie.
highly skilled in that kind of
This
No, I'm
man
not.
is trained
Martial
lethal
art.
weapon.
I'm not.
A trained lethal
We
weapon.
Black
have
belt.
our own ninja.
Black belt does. I am a ninja, but black belt does not mean that you're highly skilled. That means your training has just started.
Well, then I have the
Well, it
brown
was-
belt. The brown belt of
I don't
bullshit.
have a belt at all.
I have a brown belt too,
don't have a belt
but I
at
think it's just
all.
because I need to buy new underwear.
Oh, that's just
Why
wrong
would
on
you
so
wear
many
underwear?
levels.
I'm just gonna use one of my words. For fuck's sake, Ren.
Every episode, we're gonna have to
Really?
have her say that.
Count you up and
That's
up
the
and
new
up.
catchphrase.
It's only-
New
I think it's
catchphrase.
bottom
For
somewhere.
fuck's sake, Ren.
That's gonna be like this show's mantra. For fuck's sakes, Ren!
Yeah, you'll have to
You're gonna
put
put
it
on the
above
board up
sign,
here.
Trademark.
yeah.
Trademark. 3 trademarks.
We copyright it.
Possibility.
Well,
We're gonna
for
have
him,
T-shirts with that
For
on it.
him, it's God damn it.
God damn.
For him, it's like more subtle. Like really, That's literally
Or
what I use
wanker.
when I talk to you.
Wanker.
Mm.
Yes,
That's
wanker.
bloody wanker.
I
Mhm.
would use my normal go-to word, but I think it would be a tad strong for this show.
Just say Alberta.
Hey, we're plus 18.
Okay, now I'm curious. Now I'm just curious.
Why does it
Just say
matter?
Alberta. Go for it.
Yeah, it's just but in a nice
That's a big
Cockney
no.
London accent.
That's a big no here. That's a big no.
We just have this beat.
Well, now
It was a
now he knows
please.
time period to do it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I also have worse. Because when I'm in that mood, like, God, it finally happened. It's like, fucking finally. Oop! And that happened.
I just
Yes,
stand up
to
for
attention.
The wonder of VRchat. Yes, but
Well,
Just
then
let it
fucking
move, just
finally.
thumbstick.
And
I'm just a sweet innocent
congratulations.
Wolfie over here.
Did you reach for
Otherwise,
that?
I'd just say something in
just-
Greek. Abidamis or Malaka.
All right, we've gone off topic
No.
again. We need to get back on
We
the
have.
topic.
It's very off, very off topic.
That is part of the charm of the show. Well, I think for if you do find yourself in a toxic family, toxic community, and stuff like that, if they don't uplift you and support you, but you find yourself being involved in drama and hurting people, it is okay to leave that community.
It's okay to walk
it's-
away.
It's okay to walk away.
God
You know.
damn it, honey.
What?
Yes, I love him. I will still admit to that.
But okay, my bed freaking sucks. It's like one of those plywood like glue together kind of beds.
Mhm.
It just snapped on me. It just broke.
Well, I wonder why. I wonder
It's not-
why.
It's not my fault. I'm a little chunky.
I didn't say it was because you're fluffy, but you said like this.
Do you see? I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but the feathers on the back.
Maybe go low enough.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Can you go lower?
Okay, go
Can
lower.
you go?
Oh,
Yeah, I can go lower.
it's
There
straight
it
across your
is.
face.
That was just through your head.
That's a hairy bastard.
Anyways,
Yes. So
our
when
topic.
it comes down to the social outside of VR, social inside VR, which does you guys prefer most?
Me personally, I prefer socializing in VR because, like I say, in real life, I am very, very cut off. Very, very quiet. I don't like talking to people, and people will look at me and just automatically judge me anyway. And I just find it is so much easier, so much more liberating to socialize here in VR. And just even just with community, because okay, there are lots of different communities in VR. They're all amazing. I'm thankfully a member of the virtual furry community, which you cannot ask for better people. These people have become family to me. My closest friends, people that I actually am, my people that I'm actually closer to in VR than actually my actual real world family, I've met here in virtual reality, and not just in VRchat, but I mean, going back to all space, going back to even some of the communities. These were people that I enjoyed being with, and actually, didn't judge me from how I looked or anything like that, and actually wanted to be with me. And my relationships with these people are so much stronger than I've ever had in reality.
Yeah.
There is one thing I'm jealous of. You can actually grow a damn beard.
Yes, the voluptuous beard.
Yes.
And you can
Mine's
not?
all patchy.
You hairy bastard.
Hairy
I'll get there
bastard.
one day, Ren.
Hmm?
I'll get there one day with a beard.
Well, someday you'll get your. Well, I'm not going to mention how we call our beards, but because even though we're 13, that is probably a little bit over, or 18, that is probably a little bit over.
Well, I actually had to trim my
Honey,
beard
did you
the other
just
day.
snort?
No, I said.
Mm.
I
voluptuous
would
beards.
snort, but that was nothing to snort at.
Well, the thing is, it's actually in maritime law. Before you're issued a captain's license, you have to have, the proper beard. It's actually part of Coast Guard regulation.
And what do I do?
And I'm a hairy biker.
Exactly.
I'm just a fucking Wookiee.
Okay.
I can maybe
Okay,
grow
then
a
shave it off
small
your chest and glue it up
mustache,
here.
but that's about it.
I'm
So
sorry.
I can't be a captain because I can only have a small mustache.
You can be a little captain.
I'm small enough to begin with, okay? Shortness is
There you go.
running in my family.
Oh, same.
You're not short,
I
you're
shall
fun
call her
size.
Mini Me.
Mini me.
Mini me.
I'm sorry.
Help,
You're on your own.
please.
6 foot. I'm sorry. I'm not like short people.
Mm.
I'm
No, don't
sorry.
touch me. No,
I'm
don't
sorry.
touch me.
Well, see, this is another thing about VR is even though you're just a wee little bitty thing, in VR you can be as tall as you want.
That wouldn't change that I'm still 5'2".
Okay.
But you're my 5'2"
You're that short,
woman,
I'm sorry.
and I
Mhm.
still love you.
Yeesh.
No worries.
I love you
my
too,
phone
but
works short video.
beesh.
At least I didn't. At least I didn't compare you to like a music star did with Baby Golden.
This is
Just
true.
did.
This is
Oh
true.
yeah, that's true. But still,
He hates my
literally,
guts right now.
I was called a
I
smurf.
love you, Golden.
Anywho,
It'd be scary to see though a Smurf that's that tall.
I'm just a really
hey,
tall midget.
I'm blue. I believe
Mhm.
I can.
It would be.
But yeah, I will say I will miss some in real life relationships if I was only gonna be in VR. There are people
Mhm.
out there I want to socialize with,
Mhm.
but the majority is in VR. I will say that. One
Mm.
day, I'm probably gonna meet everybody that I care about in here, that I know, that I spend time with, that I consider my VR family or close friends. And I don't care how much I have to travel. Yes, and I'm gonna meet this one first.
Aw.
So for that, like, yeah, way to ruin the moment, dumbass. But, but yeah, I'm definitely. I hope to.
Do you need
people
the
that I know
spanner
in
of
here.
obedience?
Oh no, no, no,
Mhm.
no! I got this. I got this.
Whoa, whoa.
So.
Oh, yes.
At least it's not the frying pan.
Yeah, but this won't kill him.
Oh no! I'm just gonna resurrect him
Well, then
again.
again, it might if you hit him hard
I
enough.
think.
Yeah.
That's it,
Might
Jesus.
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
But yeah, I would definitely have more friendships, relationships, family in here compared to the real world. I am more accepted in here as who I am. I don't have to put a filter on. I don't have to pretend that I'm somebody else. Like in real life, I have to put like a damper on it and yeah, be a follower, not the one who's followed in a good way. But in here, it's like people come to me when they need to have that hard conversation, but also when they just want to snuggle, they just want to have fun. And I love that. I know that we are the helpers in here. We have a lot of people who come to us, and it can be very stressful. But for our VR
Like
family and our close friends,
it's like some
it's
situations
some
I can't handle, she can handle. Which situations she can't handle, I handle.
Well,
yes.
I've noticed too that, with a lot of the people, because there are quite a lot of people, like I was saying, who join who does have a lot of problems, and they can't work
They
through it
do.
in real life. They don't have that base
Mm,
of that community to help them work it out. And being so much open, be more easily accepted into communities here in VR.
yeah.
These people are actually able to join a community and actually have someone to talk to, bounce things off, vent, whatever, and actually work through
Mm,
their problems a lot more because they have that
yeah.
community here. Because
And you
our
have the full focus on them too.
yes,
Mm.
Yeah.
well,
It's
even
not
like
like
you were even
mm,
saying with some of the younger ones, because I've got a couple of kids too, and teenagers, and their home life really isn't what they call the best, and they can get it with these virtual families and or even very 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 close friends and experience something they really haven't had access to before.
yeah. We
Hmm.
have some of them in our family, and it kind of I was like, oh my itty bitty heart, because one of them said literally that we were the best parents that they actually never
Hmm.
had. But
Hmm.
it also broke my heart a little bit because they have to go back to the real world where they
Hmm.
don't have that support. And we can't be there for them. Yes, they can text us. Yes, they can meet us in here, but
Hmm.
we can't physically hold them, take
When they
care of
need it.
them, and
We
take them
can't
with
physically
us.
be
Mm.
there with them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's not kidnapping, it's a surprise adoption.
Exactly. Well, another thing too for a lot of people who have who are a little bit different, are just part of different communities. Okay, like for me being part of the furry fandom, which is in the IRL is very very shunned and stuff like that, or even people who
Yeah.
are members of the LGBTQ community or any other communities like that. In real life, they it's hard, but here it's
Mm-hmm.
like we just don't care. You know,
Yeah.
You don't have to
we
fit
just
that
don't care.
norm.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
norm or that what
Yeah.
society says you have to be,
Mm-hmm.
because here it's a lot more open, and we don't, for the most part, we don't care that you're uh, part of the LGBTQ. We don't care that you're part of this. We don't care that you're part of that. We just see the person, and that's
Mm.
really, I think that's the big thing that probably we should learn from our experience in VR that so many people should take
Mm-hmm.
into the real world
Yeah.
is it's like, oh, this person is fat, so we can't talk to him because he's fat, or this person here is missing an arm or something like that, so he's different. We shun him because he's different from us, or
Mm-hmm.
this guy has a different way of life.
Mm.
We're not seeing the person, and that's what we need to see more of, is the person. And I think that's something that
What?
we should
Yeah.
all learn from virtual reality and take into to the IRL, is that sense of we are all actually one member of a family. We're all family.
Mm.
We're
Yeah.
all
Mm-hmm.
human, no matter what. We're all part of the human family, and we should be accepting of the person, not what you
Yeah.
see of them.
When they
Angel,
like,
you've been pretty quiet. What is your feedback on, your experiences in VR and stuff like that, as far as being you coming to VR and meeting friends and stuff like that, and
Oh,
being accepted by others.
alright. Well, I've been in the fur community for quite a quite a long time, but I have a few friends that still talk to them even now after almost years.
Hmm.
A few of them had or used to be on VRchat. They explain like how it's like it changed a complete 180. compare how you view life. Like like you said earlier, people wear masks. People expect to act a certain way because society has that. That's how it works. But here,
Mm.
people can open up, shatter the mask and just be themselves. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how can I say this? Hmm. It's actually grateful that I can actually hang out with people here, from Ren to Ion to Toki and Rosie, which I met today. That hopefully they can, talk more and get to know each other more. My bad,
Definitely.
excuse me. Hey, look, tear fell.
All right.
I'm
Do
grateful.
we have? Yeah,
Mm.
I think
Mm.
that's the biggest thing for a lot of us being here is we're grateful.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I would
I
definitely
mean,
say
I
for
love
me,
my
it's
VR family
the
and
yeah.
everything attached.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I really do.
For me, I'm much more
Mm.
comfortable in the VR world than I am in the real world. I mean, don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, I've got some good friends out in the real world, but
Yeah.
I, although I'm usually quite an open and honest person in real life, I couldn't be as open and honest as I am in here.
Mm-hmm. Well, another thing too, like even me being, um, a furry, I can still go out to like the Just Be Club or whatever, and hang with like the normies and stuff like that, and it's for the most part, be accepted and stuff like that, and not be like, ooh,
There's normies.
you're
Yes, she
weird.
does that. Apparently, yeah,
Yes,
there
they're
is.
There's
it's
normies on
weird.
here.
Yep.
They're few. There's a
Oh, can I say
minority. It's a
something real quick?
minority, but
Yeah.
Excuse me. Like over the, how the strain happened because you can't say that word because TOS sucks. You know, how anime used to be like bad, like people just judge you just because of that. But now since it happened, it's more accepting. Maybe
mm-hmm.
some situation familiar to it can happen, and maybe more accepting towards furries or any other that seem more
Mm.
shunned. Anything else?
It,
Mm-hmm.
it's like anime, as you said. There's a lot of people out there watching anime, and there's certain scenes that come on at the wrong point. You hear a woman screaming, and then down the hall they think it's something else.
Yeah.
That's
So
kind of
people
like
wear
VR
headphones.
chat.
Mm-hmm.
You're not there to see the situation and meet this person. Before you even see him, you hear that echo from down the hallway as if they're doing completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Also, I like
Anime logic.
Yep.
the whole talking first and personality first, because I've never like video chatted with anyone in the beginning, and I was actually scared to show my face. I will admit that.
Mm.
But once I just did it, I joined in on Ion and Felix and
Mm-hmm.
somebody else. And and the first thing Ion does is saying, "I'm sitting in my truck. Look at my man titties." Yes.
No, that was in my old car. I was not in the truck.
Yes.
Was I in the
Oh,
truck?
you were in the truck. Worked at the port.
That is true. I have never
Uh,
actually video called anyone before until I actually started making friends in or VR worlds. I've
Ooh.
never
Yeah.
ever
honey,
joined into a
we're
video
gonna
call
break him
before.
today. We're gonna make a video call with him.
Bet I want in. I want in.
Bet.
Yee. But yeah. Any last thoughts?
No, I think this
No.
was.
No.
Go ahead.
Yes, honey.
Don't be a cousin. Don't be a cousin. Be kind to everyone you meet on here. That's the
Mm.
most simplest thing you can do. Be nice to others basically treat others how you want to be treated.
Yes,
If you
definitely.
accept them, they will accept you.
Hmm. I think that's the biggest takeaway from a lot of this, and I think it's something, like I say, we should be more understanding of in the real world is understanding that there is a person there. Everyone is a person. Treat everyone with respect. Treat everyone with love and kindness. And what you put out in the world, you will get back. This is kind of proof. I mean, look how we put out love and kindness and understanding, and for the most part, everyone here gives that to us back. You put out, you reap what you sow. So
Sometimes you might have to repeat yourself due to VRchat glitching. But we get the
occasionally,
premise.
Yeah.
Well,
unless you're ASL.
I guess that will be kind of end of the show.
Yes, well, thank you so much for joining us this week on the 6873 show. We're so happy that Angel has joined our crew and will be our new editor of the show. We do have a lot more exciting content coming up. We have actually even talked about maybe doing a monthly tech hour. So we'll be diving a lot more into the technology stuff of VR. And we've also got a lot more very interesting guests coming up. And we do want to hear from you. So if you have any subjects, anything like that, any range of subjects that you would like us to discuss, or even guests that you'd like us to have us on, please leave the comments in the down below. We do read all the comments. We reply to them as much as we can, but we want to hear from you because we want to make a show that you guys want to watch. So please consider please like and share with us with everyone. And if you do, please consider supporting us on our $1 Patreon.
Ren?
Yes.
Before you say all goodbye, we are planning a meet and greet. We have a Discord channel too. Again, the link will be in the description. We will post in there when the date and time is for the meet and greet, or possibly make a little video announcement on YouTube when you can come and actually meet us, well, in person almost, in our public studio that Ren created here in VRchat as well. But that will come up on a later date.
Well, thank you so much for joining this episode. We hope to see you next week. And until next time, everyone out there, have a great day.
Lots of love.
Bye-bye.
That's our new tagline.
For
Potatoes!
fuck's sake, Ren.
Potatoes! For fuck's sake!
Ah.
For fuck's sake!
Rossi.
What the fuck is this?
Really?
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 I don't have one. I'm just a sweet innocent
What was
wolfie.
it
I
that
don't
you
have any
wanted me to do?
taglines.
For the counter.